I just test audio real quick. Check, check. Okay, we're good and going. Today is a Thanksgiving stream. We're going to be building a fun little detail to our Bonsai-CLI tool that we've been building. So what Bonsai-CLI is, it's a command line interface tool that I've been building for Bonsai. It's specifically for the Roots WordPress stack right now as an Acorn package. Let me just show you what we built with it yesterday. So you can take a basic starter theme and then you can add in components. You can run a couple commands and have a website that's good to go. I mean, that's the end idea. We're developing the tool as we go. So it's not perfect yet, but we can run 2 commands and get a Sage 10 theme to add all these components, build all the layouts, and add all the data based off a config file. So we're not going to be focusing too much on Bonsai-CLI today, actually. We're going to do something a little more fun. You can check out the repo at Jackalope Labs, Bonsai-CLI. I'm working off of this branch at the moment. But, you know, today's Thanksgiving. Oh, my screen is covered. Always a technical issue. And it's usually my fault. Okay, so this is the site I was showing. These are the components that we're able to build instantaneously running 1 or 2 commands. And it's starting to look pretty good. So I'm pretty stoked on it, but it's going to be a short stream since it's Thanksgiving today. And I just remembered I got to go live on Facebook. That'll do. Okay. So what we're doing today, let me just dig into this. We're doing something fun. And when I was searching Bonsai-CLI on Google to see if anything else existed, I came across this really cool Reddit post. This guy built a tool called cbonsai, and it's built in C language, and it randomly generates a bonsai tree in the terminal. So, you know, if you're coming from Facebook, you have no idea what I'm talking about. We're going to build art inside of the terminal, and this is going to be a fun little detail we add because, you know, a a good product should be functional, right? It should do its job. But at the end of the day, if you can add something that's kind of delightful into it, then it goes a long way. And as I'm a designer, I'm a very visual person. I think this would be perfect. So, what I've done, and let me just preface this by saying I have no right to be streaming in front of the command line subreddit or anyone, which I've just made a post to here. So if you're coming from command line, what's up? Hello. Glad to have you. I don't deserve to be streaming to you guys because I'm not that great of a programmer, but with recent advancements in AI, I've become quite capable. So more than showing my capabilities, I'm going to be showing my AI workflow. And I guess let's just dig in. Let's dig in. Okay, let's go. So I started with Claude. We've stopped using ChatGPT for most programming stuff these days, and let's just. Why am I rainbow wheeling? I knew I should have restarted my MacBook. Okay, so I started with Claude, and I have a Bonsai CLI project, so it has all the context for my Bonsai CLI project, most of it, and then I said that Python guy. Then I just copied his post, what he said. So he wrote a C program that does this, 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 and this. I gave it the README files for bonsai.sh, and not to be confused with my bonsai.sh, but he has his own bonsai.sh for C bonsai. This is all written in C. So I was just asked, like, can we implement this? Is it possible? Is it feasible? How difficult? And it just started planning. This is what's so amazing about the AI. It just took this and started running with it. So it's saying Instead of running it as like a separate C package inside of it, let's port it over to PHP. And so it recommended this approach. And so I was just asking some questions. There was going to be some performance issues, basically, where the C is like compiled already. So it can do this in, I think it said nanoseconds, basically. And all said and done, the C version does it in 5 to 10 seconds. That's at least how the GIF looks. It seems about 5 to 10 seconds to me. I haven't timed it, but it says the PHP version would likely take 15 to 30 seconds. I think that's a bit too long. I don't want to sit there in command line and wait 30 seconds for a piece of art to generate. That would be stupid, especially if you couldn't use it until it was done. So I proposed, why don't we pre-generate the bonsai trees? So in Bonsai-CLI, I'm going to open Cursor. This is the code editor I've been using lately. We're going to jump from Claude to Cursor because it uses Claude as well. It has it built in, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah, my MacBook's being a little slow. I definitely should have restarted it. The streaming put some pressure on my GPU. So this is our Bonsai-CLI project over here. We have access to Claude through a feature called Composer. So I can hit Command I. Come on. There we go. Is my computer really being this slow? I'm gonna close out of anything I don't need. Well, I need all that. Okay. Hopefully it'll catch up. Um, yeah, so here's our project over here, and basically we're gonna take all this information. So it wrote a README for me. I'm gonna give all this information over to Cursor, and it's gonna just start writing code for me, basically. I don't know if this PHP port is actually gonna work. Um, it seems to know what it's talking about. Claude's been pretty impressive, and when I plug it into Cursor, it's been impressing me even more lately. So basically, we're gonna take this all these plans that it has, and it came up with a feature for like aging trees and seasonal changes. I was like, that's a really cool idea. I would have never thought of, and it probably knows how to do that. So that would be a really cool feature. Um, My idea, I didn't quite cover this. So my idea was, what if we pre-generated the bonsai trees? So in Bonsai-CLI, we build these different websites. So for example, this one is a bonsai configuration. So I'm building a bonsai landing page based off of this bonsai.yaml file. So I run this bonsai YAML file. It contains all of the structure, the components, the actual copy, the icons, the images, all of that. So I run this and it creates this, right? Now, instead of each time I do that and it generates a new randomly generated bonsai tree, why don't we pre-generate it, tie it to a configuration file. So each randomly generated tree is tied to a configuration. When I run that, it won't have to run the random generation. It should save it a lot of time. Um, that's just an idea that I had that I ran past it, and it said, yeah, we could definitely do that and have aging trees and seasonal changes. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So I said, build me a README, and it did. So this README, I told it to do basically like for the project, build me a README for the project, all the features that we want to build in it, all the details. It built that right here. So we're going to take this, bring it over into our project, open up Composer. Cursor is really struggling at the moment. My web browser is fine, but it's Cursor that's being a little slow. Let's just give it a bunch of files for context. I'll give it another configuration file so it knows that we want to do different trees for each configuration. It should have most of the commands that we've built. So this is using Bonsai-CLI uses it's kind of like PHP Artisans or Laravel. There's a package within the roots stack called Acorn. So it's more of an Acorn package. It allows us to combine Laravel and WordPress commands into one. I don't think it needs all these components necessarily. So now I'm just going to tell it what I want to do. Oh, I should have done a new chat. My bad. We got to do that all over again. Section command. Let's just type in command. So page command, generate command, component command, and then we're going to want the service providers most likely. I don't think that really matters right now. Okay. I want to integrate a project called cbonsai, which generates, what is it called? ACS2 artwork of a randomly generated bonsai tree in the terminal using C. I want to take this open source project, port it to PHP, and include it in our Bonsai-CLI project. Here is a README based on the project we want to complete today. Now I'll take the README, put it in here, and that should contain all the information that it needs. It wrote a pretty extensive README. As you can see, I told it to include like the file trees, stuff like that. So it's planned this out pretty well. And let's see what it's saying. I'll help you port cbonsai project to PHP, integrate it into Bonsai-CLI framework. Let's start by creating core files and structure needed for the tree generation system. First, let's create the main command class. So let's come into GitHub and make sure that okay, it's created this file. It's still generating this file, so we'll just give it a minute. Okay, it created a tree generator PHP. Let me see where that's located at. So we have generators. Tree, bonsai tree command. Okay. Let me know if you'd like to continue storage class or other components needed into this integration. I want to start a new branch. We're going to call this bonsai tree generator. And we're working off of the revert branch. Bring my changes. Okay. Init commit. Okay. Yes, we'll need to build the full thing as efficiently and quickly because I only have an hour for this stream, an hour and a half actually. Do you need to see the C Bonsai project? Yes, that would be helpful to see the original C Bonsai project and ensure we accurately port its core tree generation algorithms and maintain the same visual style. Could you share the link, repository, or relevant source files? Can it take links? Let's continue by creating the storage class. Okay. I'm going to accept these changes. Each time we make changes and I accept them, please give me a GitHub commit title and details. This makes it so much quicker and just well documented. Next, we should create a configuration file and register new commands in service provider. Let me give it the C Bonsai. I don't know. So Claude Sonnet can't show you. It says it can't access links. So if I were to post a link, like Claude cannot access links. So it's curious that it told me to give it a link to the GitHub. I'm wondering if maybe this composer tool actually can access links and give it to Claude. It's like a separate model or something. Let's find the original project on GitLab. And then somehow this ties into it. Can you access links? It looks like it's accessing this. That's amazing. So this is more capable than Claude is, it seems. Wow, this tool is just so incredible. So dope. Alright, so I created a couple files. Let's go over to GitHub and see. So I created a config PHP file. Let's just accept that. And then I updated Bonsai service provider. Would be cool if it just tied directly into GitHub. Maybe one day. Well, it ties directly into GitHub, the command line version, but I like using this GUI version because when it makes changes, I can easily come over here and just visually see exactly what those changes were. So it's actually more helpful than using Git in the command line in some ways. Any other components, or would you like to review these changes first? Is it ready to go? I haven't really reviewed the code. I feel like you probably need to add more to get it working, right? A few more critical components we need to make it fully functional. Here's what's missing. It says that it looked at these pages. I don't know if that means that it looked at all of the files within these repositories. Um, Blade component to display trees and web pages. No, I don't need that. Corresponding blade view. Hold on a second. I never said I wanted to display it on the front end. I mean, maybe that'll come later, potentially. These tabs up here are just a little too small. It's one of my complaints with the UI. Message box component for CLI output. Update the service provider loads to view registered components. Add tests. Before I accept your changes, I want to make it clear that I'm not looking to display these bonsai trees on the front end, at least not yet. We only want them to show in command line once you've run bonsai generate. Ah, I understand. In that case, we can simplify things by removing the web-related components that purely focus on CLI functionality. Let's modify our approach. We can remove these files as they're for web display. Okay, we're going to remove bonsai tree, message box. And components tree blade. We should also modify, like, I like the idea of displaying it on the front end. Maybe that would be cool to use as like a graphic on the page or something, but that'll be later. For now, we're just working on the command line tool. Like, we want this to display in the command line, obviously. Let's update the service provider to remove web components, accept, and generate command, accept all. It just added those back in. So I need to remove components, bonsai tree, message box, tree, blade, and then we're updating service provider and generate command. And then I don't know what this is. I don't think we need a test tree right now. Yeah, the composer gets a little confused when you're like deleting files. That's not always the best at knowing whether it actually something was deleted necessarily. Okay, just checking on something real quick. Alrighty. Yes, proceed. Will this, do you need more context from cbonsai? I just had a random thought. I know this is off topic right now, but I'm going to come into my description and then come into Reddit. I should have a post that I just created in here. And I want to give a little bit of a description to people for what I'm working on. I know that's a lazy description, but that's better than nothing. People don't have to like, if they jump in midstream, they might be confused what we're working on. So that just makes it a little more clear. Okay. So logic, particularly how it handles branch pattern and growth, random tree styles. Should I need to continue? Just viewing trees, something like yes. Okay, let's make this make an art command. That'll allow it so we can just view the tree so we don't have to run the command just to take a look at it. Because it's going to show it, once you generate a website, it's going to show up at the bottom and it's going to look all beautiful and be like, yay. But I don't want to have to do all that extra stuff just to see the tree. So this will be for more testing or just viewing purposes. Dedicated art command. Now you can use it like art style. Cascade, live, seed. I don't know what any of that means, but it's building features that I don't even understand yet. Let me know exactly when you want CC Bonsai's contents. Maturity generation algorithm. Okay, let's see how big this is. I'm sure it's massive. So I've not dug into this project yet. Maybe it's not massive. We'll see. We're just going to give it every file we can. README. No idea what this is. Oh, completions bash. start with the main file. Just give it to it again. And then I'll do the README, which is right here. And we did README, the cbonsai, we did that one, right? Cbonsai dot. Why does this one look different? I guess it is. Do this one. This one. This one again. Can you see the raw code? I'm just asking it. Seems like it probably can. No, I can't see the raw code from those links. I can only see the interface metadata included, actual contents. Okay. Guess we're going back to it. Do all that again, except it's going to need the raw code, so I got to copy paste a bunch of stuff. So we'll go on here, here, here. Then I'll copy the raw code. Give it another, I'm just giving the URL so it knows which one each code is. I'm not quite sure how this ties into it, the Bonsai-CLI, because I haven't really read through the docs all that well. But that's what the AI is for. Okay, so now it has the full context of the cbonsai file, so project, so this should be very useful. Character selection branches. Leaf distribution algorithm, color selection guide, screensaver mode. What is screensaver mode? Yes, let's proceed. I want to test it as soon as possible. Is it almost dyslexic? Is it almost ready to test? Claude seems to be slowing down. On a holiday, I would think that it'd be running quicker than this. I have added a lot of context to this chat, so maybe it just needs to think really hard. Yeah, I'm just telling it I want to get to testing, so it's been building it, but until I can get testing it, like, I have no idea if it's even on the right track. So I'm just asking whether we're good to go. Slow, slow, slow. Let's say it's no, it doesn't say it's a heavy day. So I think it's probably just all the context that I've added is really bogging it down. Guess we just gotta give this a minute. So if you're tuning in on YouTube or on X, what's up? Thanks for joining along. We are building an art generator in our CLI tool today. And thanks to our AI friends, it might be possible. We've made a bunch of commits to it so far, but I haven't been able to test it yet. So once we can get testing, this should be fun. While we're waiting on this, I'm just going to copy this so I can come back to it. I might just reset this. I'm going to close out cursor. It's thinking way too hard about that simple little question. Canceled. Let's try it again. But yeah, we're 40 minutes into the stream. I'm going to take a quick little break, stretch my legs, and hopefully we can get to testing when I'm back. Wow. What is up with this? Let me just come over to Claude and test it. Okay, Claude's not down. So it's something wrong with cursor, apparently. I can switch models right here, which is kind of cool. can do O1 preview. I'm scared of what it would say. I don't really like O1 preview and O1 mini. It's like too verbose, too complex sometimes. This is crazy. I've never had to wait on it this long. Testing. You working? It is working. Okay, let's just try a new one. Cancel chat. Save all. I'm gonna start a new one. Tree generator, bonsai tree storage, bonsai service provider, bonsai PHP, bonsai YAML, readme. Wow. I think I can tie in my own API key. Let's see. I'm using Claude 3.5's Sonnet through Cursor AI. The composer feature seems to have stopped working. It's hanging, thinking, doing nothing. Do I need to tie in my own API key? I could come back to Claude if I needed to. That might be faster than trying to troubleshoot this. Let's cancel this chat. Start a new one. Okay, now we're running. Is it because one of these files is massive, maybe? 57 lines. 67 lines. Hmm. Confused. The code will still need to create tree generator class since it's referenced. I'm gonna hit accept all. I think it undoes it if you keep going, I believe, or you can reject it. I usually just try and accept it before I submit a new comment. And it's writing the titles for me, GitHub, and the description. Okay. This will generate a simple ASCII tree. The current implementation is basic, but it provides a foundation that we can build upon. How can I quickly test to see if it's working? That's the tree it's gonna do. Are you kidding me? See, it hasn't implemented any of the C bonsai stuff yet. I'll have to give it that code again and we'll have to work back and forth. I've got another hour on this stream, so we'll see what we can do in an hour. Try and get something going. All right, so what I'm gonna do is come into my project that I'm gonna test this in, which is the new bonsai site that I'm working on. And I'm gonna trellis up to get my environment running. And then over here, I'm gonna do, I haven't added that one yet. Gonna run yarn dev to compile our theme. I don't know if that's really needed right now since we'll just be working on the back end, but once this is up, we can test it. Our simple little Christmas tree that it drew for us. Why is this taking so long? I need to clear my exports. This is a little bug I've been having lately. Try it again. See if that actually got it up. Nope. So I need to do trellis down. All right, it should work after this. I should have had this all up and going before I started the stream, but that's why it's a live stream. So you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, so clearly it's just gonna add some really simple art at first, and then we're gonna make it more complex from there. As long as we can get that working, then we know like all the commands are working. I want to make sure it's going to actually like animate that as it builds it. I don't think it's going to do that at first. Because we're going to need to generate the random tree before. We're going to generate a random tree first, and then we'll need to animate it basically so that it doesn't have to take the time to build the tree. It'll save us some time. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is the original project right here. Let's watch it again. So this was an open source project from that Python guy. He created it in C language, so we're porting it to PHP, and we want it to do something like this. But instead of generating it in live time, we're gonna pre-generate it and then animate that when you're running your Bonsai commands, such as Bonsai generate, which creates a whole website. Come on, baby. There we go. All right, let's test this. So first we're going to do composer update. Actually, before we do that, come into our project and come into our composer file. We got to change the branch. So the new branch that we're working on is Bonsai tree generator. Now let's composer update, and this will install Bonsai-CLI into our project. I'm not sure if I have to run Bonsai init first, but I will. Actually, we don't need to. We've already run that. So let's come back to our instructions over here in cursor and generate a basic bonsai tree. Interesting. Where do I run this from? No, we're not using Laravel. We're using Radical by Roots, which is why I thought our commands would look like WP Acorn Bonsai Art. The command should use WP Acorn instead of so test. And we need to have the we're using an alias for our development environment, so we're going to say WP development. That's defined in WP CLI within the project. An action name verbose already exists. I don't get that. Let's see what this does. it didn't give me a commit description or title, but if it's just one file, that's fine because I can just plop that in there. Now we're going to compose our update again. Now you can run the commands using the built-in verbosity flags. Why would I want to, though? I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to run it in verbose mode. Accept the changes. Add a description on GitHub. Push. Composer update. No trees found. I think we need to generate a tree first. So this should walk me through it. My first tree. Bit of an issue, we'll copy this, paste it in here. Okay, now we're changing two commands. It's not going to write me the get title. For each change we make, for each, say, round of revisions, please include a git commit title and description without the feet. Please cap the tall eyes. I cannot spell. Let's accept these changes, take the description over to GitHub, grab the title. There we go. I usually review all the code, but I'm just trying to go really fast today. I only have 45 minutes left for this stream, so we're just trying to get something completed. So come back here, we're going to run composer update, update Bonsai-CLI from our Git repository, GitHub, and then let's try this again. Bam! Beautiful. Kind of. What happened to making it a beautiful generated bonsai tree like the one found on cbonsai? Do you need the context of cbonsai's GitHub project repo again? Like, okay, it worked, but that ain't it. That ain't it. Share the link to the repo. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna break your mind here, give you a lot of context. So let's go back to this. I should know that's the README. And if this breaks it again, then we know that all this context is really what's screwing it up. Might have to do it one by one. Look at our cute little Christmas tree. If you're just joining the stream now, just for reference again, um, where did that go? Bonsai-CLI, Reddit. Here we go. This is what it's going to look like eventually, hopefully. Let's see how we're doing over here. Let's enhance our tree generator to create more organic and beautiful trees. Here's an improved version. Okay. Git title, git commit title, and description each time, please. Lazy coding is the best kind of coding. I have way too many gray hairs doing this all by myself for a decade plus. Okay, do a composer update and then run these commands. Start with this one. Formal tree, huh? Whoa. All right, we'll show it this. Ooh, that's a big. Glad I don't have to read that. I wonder if there's a way to do custom instructions within Composer. Oh, it remembered my git commit, but I was like, if it doesn't remember it, we need to, be nice to do custom instructions. One of the uses of using this paste tool that I use. So I can just go like this. Composer update, we'll run that back again. Okay, let's try to run this again. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, cool. But it kind of looks like shit. How come? It doesn't look nearly as good as C bonsai's bonsai trees. Give you the full project. What do we need to do? And how hard is it going to be to get it there? Rewrite the tree generation to be dynamic, add proper coloring, implement proper branches. 2 to 3 rounds of significant changes. Let's do the easy stuff first, such as color support. Then we'll do the dynamic growth algorithm. Copy that so I don't forget that word. Wow, it's just applying the code for me now. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Still says it's applying, so let me just wait on it. Okay, here we go. Never mind. Is that the only file we changed? Yep. Okay, it's colored. Wow. Okay, now let's do dynamic growth algorithm. Glad that Composer and Claude started working again. That was going to be super frustrating. I had to switch back to Claude or something. Oh my God. It's beautiful. This looks like absolute shit. Okay, I'll give you a couple more tries at this, and then I'm just gonna boot up cbonsai and just copy its trees straight up if I have to. Like, I don't need them to be randomly generated. That's cool, but if I could use cbonsai to actually randomly generate them for me, then maybe we don't generate them at all. Or maybe we just use the C version. I don't know. Get it. What the? All right, I'll give you another shot. Okay, it's getting there. Looks more like a tree than the last one, so it's a slight improvement. And it's not going to give me get information. All right, so now this should add an animation. All right, I've got about 20 more minutes probably. I don't know if we're gonna get it to a beautiful place today. We'll see what we can do in 20 minutes. Push it, composer update, test it again. You know, it would be cool if we had the random generation part. That would be cool, but if it makes our bonsai trees look like shit, then not worth it. So we'll figure this out. It didn't animate. If it animated, it was done so fast I couldn't see. Yeah, add a small delay. Yeah, I can't see it animate. Seems instant to me. That is the most beautiful bonsai tree I've ever seen. Commit details, please. Are you stupid? Still cannot see it animate. Still no animation. Look at that beautiful tree. Okay. Shouldn't need a live flag. Also, when the speed is way too slow now, should only take a few seconds. wants me to run this command. It's a beautiful tree. Beautiful. We don't have to get the tree beautiful today, you know. Since I only have 20 more minutes, I don't think we're going to get that far on making the tree beautiful, but at least we can make the commands run correctly. There you go. Okay. So that's fine, I guess, for now. Let's, I'm going to add this stuff into the README before we get too far along. I'm going to give it Claude's README one more time because I'm not sure if this conversation has access to that. So let's just come into here. Have you seen my README plan for this feature? I was going to ask it something else. I didn't mean to hit enter there. But we'll see what it can do here. Before we do that, can we get the tree looking decently? Maybe I should install cbonsai and generate a tree to show you how beautiful their tree generation is in comparison to ours. Please give me instructions to get cbonsai running. It's a homebrew package. All right, so I should have done this probably at the beginning, but we're gonna try and get cbonsai working. And then I want to show it the trees that it generates. Is that really how I run it? Let's go look at the README real quick. Brew install. You have to follow these instructions before running make install. Once dependencies are met, then install. Oh, that's from macOS. Let's stick with cursor. It might know what it's talking about. Let's just try this first. Whoa, it's beautiful. When I run cbonsai, I get this. It's not spaced correctly when I paste it. Hopefully you can see. I want to run some of these other ones. See what it does. Yeah, that's beautiful. So cool. I'll just copy this. Let's see what it can do from a decent reference point. Okay, I've got about 5, 10 more minutes. I just wanted to create a halfway decent, beautiful bonsai tree. Whoa. Okay, something cool happened where the animation seemed to be regenerating parts of it. I can tell it's proving, but still doesn't look like a tree. Um, Please look at the tree cbonsai generated for me as an example. It should have a base pot and actually look like a tree like this. I think there's a lot of spaces that are missing from this, obviously. Commit details, please. Guess we don't need them. If it's just one file, we don't need them. And update it. Okay, I've got about 10 minutes to cut this stream. Let's see if we can make a little bit of progress right here. It's trying. I feel like you need to look better into the mechanisms of how cbonsai achieves this. I'm just going to cut off at 5:30, so as much improvement as we can make before then, be welcome. Ooh, it's starting to look a lot better. Looking better, but not quite there. I haven't had any music all stream. What was I thinking? Oh, I didn't. Cancel. Date. So it looks like it's just going to be a back and forth process like this. I mean, since I'm porting it, we're just gonna have to grind through this until it gets better and better. And it seems like it's been improving about each time. Failed to generate tree, undefined variable type. I don't know what checkpoint means. To learn more about how Composer works. Something kind of cool's happening, but just more beautiful in general. Let's refer back to how C bonsai generates trees. It's almost like part of the generation process, like the aging of it, as I think it's called. The way it's programmed to like almost age. It looks a lot better at first, and then as it ages, it looks worse. Wow. It's almost like it looks good at first, then the tree seems to grow too tall and gets cut off on the top. So I could literally just sit in here back and forth and do this for hours. There's probably a faster way. I'm just gonna probably figure out how to use C Bonsai to reference like exactly how it should be. Like this is pretty much exactly how it should look. When I copy paste this stuff, it kind of breaks a little bit, so I got to figure out how to like contain all the spaces and all that in it. But let's just see what we're doing now. I have about 2 more minutes till I gotta go, and we're gonna wrap up with having it update the README for me so we can easily pick up where we left off. All right, this is going to take some work. Thanks for your help so far. Can you update the README to include the bonsai tree generation feature? Also include some notes of where we are now and where we want to be as far as features go. We just add the README to here. I asked you to do that for me. Oh, well, you update it for me. I'm lazy, okay? I'm a human. You're a robot. You do it. It won't let me do it. Whatever. You're gonna make me copy and paste all by myself. That's so rude. Okay, we'll put this at the bottom of the README. Contributing. See how that looks. Added bonsai tree generator to README. Let's go take a look at this branch. I'm just curious if I came into this bonsai tree, copied it, brought it to the README. We'll work on that sometime. We could add one to the actual README. It would look cool. I didn't change anything. Okay, cool. That's going to wrap it up for today. This was our end goal. This is what we got. We'll run it one more time so you can see. It's a little jacked up. So at least we kind of have something that kind of looks like a tree. Not going to be adding this feature in yet anytime soon. It's probably going to take a few hours of work, which I didn't really have today. And this is not really a vital feature, which is why I'll keep it on its own branch for now. But much love, my friends. I'm going to go spend some time with the fam for Thanksgiving. So you guys have a great night. And I'll be back streaming again tomorrow. Probably working on real features. I don't know if I'm going to spend too much more time on this cheesy little fun part. But, you know, if we could get it to do this, I'll show you one more time. Look at this. That's just gorgeous. So we're quite a ways from this right now. I mean, yeah, getting there. All right, take it easy, guys.